Time does not flow, it simply is, spread before us like a frozen river we mistake for motion. And yet here we stand, convinced we are moving forward, when perhaps we have never moved at all. I have spent my life in the company of equations, those elegant whispers of nature's hidden grammar. But the deeper I venture into the mathematics of existence, the more I am confronted with a truth that troubles even my own certainty. What we call reality may be nothing more than a persistent illusion, a shadow play our senses insist is solid. We touch a table and believe in its permanence. We watch the sun rise and feel the turning of time. But the universe, in its quiet indifference, knows no such distinctions. Past, present, future. These are stubborn illusions, comfortable fictions we tell ourselves to navigate a cosmos that operates by rules we are only beginning to glimpse. Consider this. Light travels at a fixed speed, yet time itself bends and stretches depending on how fast you move, how deep you sit in gravity's well. Two events that appear simultaneous to you may occur in different order to another observer. Which of you is correct? Both? Neither? The question itself reveals our confusion. We are not observers of a single objective reality. We are participants in a symphony where every instrument plays a slightly different arrangement, yet somehow the music persists. I remember walking through the streets of Bern, watching the clock tower, and asking myself a simple question. What if I could ride alongside a beam of light? What would I see? That childlike curiosity unlocked something profound. The realization that space and time are not separate stages upon which events unfold, but a single fabric, warped and curved by matter and energy. We do not live in space and time, we are woven from them. Every atom in your body is a knot in this cosmic tapestry, connected to distant stars by threads we cannot see but mathematics can trace. And yet, this beautiful structure, this space-time Einstein spoke of in the third person, as if observing a stranger's work, remains incomplete. Quantum mechanics whispers of a different truth, that reality at its smallest scales is not determined until observed, that particles exist in ghostly superpositions of all possible states, collapsing into certainty only when measured. The moon, I once asked, does it exist when no one is looking? The equations suggest a troubling answer. Perhaps reality is not a fixed landscape we explore, but a conversation between observer and observed, a co-creation we participate in without realizing our role. This is what keeps me awake at night, long after the calculations are finished. If the universe is deterministic, as relativity suggests, then our choices are mere echoes of initial conditions set in motion at the beginning of time. And if quantum mechanics is correct, then reality itself is fundamentally uncertain, a dice game played by nature with rules that defy our intuition. Both theories work magnificently within their domains, yet they contradict each other at the most fundamental level. Something is missing. Some deeper truth eludes us. I have tried in my later years to find a unified field theory, a single, elegant framework that would reconcile these warring descriptions of nature. I have failed, though not for lack of effort. Perhaps the universe is not meant to be understood from a single perspective. Perhaps truth itself is like light, showing different faces depending on how you approach it, yet remaining whole and consistent in ways we cannot yet perceive. What troubles me most, however, is not the physics but the philosophy it implies. If time is an illusion, if reality bends to observation, if determinism and chance both claim dominion over existence, then what are we? Are we free agents navigating an open future, or puppets dancing to equations written at the dawn of creation? The answer, I suspect, is neither, and both. We are patterns of energy and information, temporary convergences in the flow of existence, conscious enough to ask questions, but perhaps not equipped to understand the answers. Still, we must try. This is the human condition, to be small and bewildered yet capable of comprehending galaxies, to live brief flickers of life yet contemplate eternity. We are the universe looking at itself, asking questions in a language of mathematics that nature herself seems to speak. That alone is cause for wonder. So I leave you with this. Do not trust your eyes alone to tell you what is real. The solid ground beneath your feet is mostly empty space. The present moment you inhabit is not a universal now, but a local perspective. The past you remember and the future you imagine may exist simultaneously in the vast landscape of spacetime, as real as the fleeting instant you call today. Reality is not what it seems. It is far stranger, far more beautiful, and far more mysterious than our ancestors ever dreamed. And perhaps that is the only certainty we can claim, that the universe will always be more astonishing than our best theories, more subtle than our cleverest experiments, more profound than our deepest intuitions. We stand on the shore of an infinite ocean, and though we may build better boats and sail farther out, the horizon will always recede before us. That is not cause for despair. It is an invitation to remain curious, to question everything, including our questions themselves, and to remember that uncertainty is not the enemy of knowledge, but its foundation. The greatest discoveries come not from those who believe they have found the answer, but from those brave enough to ask better questions. So question reality. Doubt your senses. Trust the mathematics even when it leads to absurdity, for the universe is under no obligation to make sense to us. And above all, maintain your sense of wonder. That, perhaps, is the most real thing we possess, that capacity to stand beneath the stars and feel both infinitely small and cosmically connected. A brief thought in the mind of the universe, contemplating itself. Reality is fundamentally different from our perception. Time doesn't flow the way we experience it. Past, present, and future may all exist simultaneously in space-time. What we perceive as solid, objective reality is actually relative to the observer, bendable, and possibly an illusion created by our limited senses. The universe operates by rules that contradict our everyday experience. We walk through our days as though the ground beneath us is solid, as though the moment we inhabit is shared by all, as though time flows like a river carrying us from yesterday into tomorrow. And yet, if I have learned anything from a lifetime spent conversing with the universe through mathematics, it is this: reality does not conform to our expectations. It is far stranger and far less obliging. Consider time itself. We experience it as a current, relentless and uniform, but the equations reveal something quite different. Time bends. It stretches and compresses depending on how fast you move, how deep you sit in the pull of gravity. Two people, standing in different places or traveling at different speeds, will not agree on the order of events. One sees lightning strike before thunder, another sees them reversed. Both are correct. The universe does not choose between them, because the universe does not possess a single, universal now. What we call the present moment is merely a local phenomenon, a perspective, not an absolute truth. And if time is relative, then so too is reality itself. The solid table before you is mostly empty space, a dance of particles held together by forces we describe but do not truly understand. You are not observing a fixed external world. The universe remains profoundly mysterious despite our scientific progress. Even our best theories, relativity and quantum mechanics, contradict each other, suggesting we're missing something fundamental about how reality works. Rather than being discouraged by this uncertainty, we should embrace it. Our inability to fully understand the cosmos is an invitation to remain curious, ask better questions, and maintain a sense of wonder about existence itself. I have spent decades chasing a unified understanding of nature, and I must confess, the universe guards its secrets with remarkable stubbornness. We have two magnificent theories: relativity, which describes the grand architecture of space-time with elegant precision, and quantum mechanics, which reveals the peculiar behavior of the very small. Each works beautifully within its own domain. Yet they contradict each other at the most fundamental level. One insists reality is smooth and deterministic, the other whispers of uncertainty and probability. This is not a minor inconvenience. It suggests we are missing something profound about the fabric of existence itself. Perhaps the universe is not meant to be captured in a single equation, or perhaps our minds are simply not yet prepared to see the deeper pattern. What strikes me most is not the difficulty of the problem, but what it reveals about the human endeavor. We are creatures who can comprehend galaxies, yet remain baffled by the quantum dance happening in our own fingertips. And still we press forward, driven not by certainty, but by curiosity, by that strange compulsion to ask questions. And so I return to where we began, with wonder, with questions, with the humble recognition that we are brief sparks of consciousness in an infinite cosmos. Let us remain forever curious, forever skeptical, forever amazed, for in our questioning we touch something eternal, something true,